welcome back to Casting On with me, Naughty Girl Crochet. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. It's been a while since I filmed one of these. Just life, we moved. As you can see, a bit of a different background. I'm not quite sure if this is where I'll keep filming, but for today, this is what works. As you can see, I did a little something to my hair. It's the first time I've ever dyed my hair a color that wasn't, brown or blonde. So, I'm enjoying it. I basically just, I bleached the very tips and then put some, dye over it. My hair doesn't bleach very well. I've had it professionally bleached before and it takes multiple sessions, so I just it didn't fully bleach, it lightened it enough that the color would go on. So yeah, that's fun. I guess the other reason I haven't really filmed one of these videos in a while is I've been busy. In case you don't follow me on Instagram, which you should, all my social links will be down below, I started an online yarn store. So it's called Skein Appeal, and I've been wanting to do it for a while. Sorry, I keep clearing my throat. I have really bad allergies, specifically to dust, and of course when you move, you kick up a lot of dust. So I'm very congested. But so yeah, I've always wanted to start a yarn store. I thought it'd be really fun, and I kept not doing it. And I mean, I would love to one day have a brick and mortar store, but in Toronto, especially downtown, rent prices are insane. So for now it's online, but we have a couple different dyers in stock. We have one Canadian dyer so far, Lillian Pine, and we have 3 US dyers, Knitting After Midnight, Breaking Yarn, and Yarn Over New York. I am working on getting in some more dyers, so I'm, the US and hopefully Europe. It's tricky because a lot of dyers will only sell wholesale to brick and mortar stores. They won't sell to you if you only have an online store. A lot of dyers also have very high minimums. So what that means is when you go to buy a wholesale order, they ask that you purchase either a certain number of skeins or a certain dollar amount. And a lot of them are just higher than where I'm at with the store right now. I'm just starting. And so, there were a couple dyers that I was really excited contacting. It's oh yeah, sure, here's our wholesale pricing. It's pretty standard. Our minimum's 100 skeins. And it's just 100 skeins from one dyer alone is a lot. It's a lot to store in a condo. It's a lot of money because even with wholesale pricing, 100 skeins of yarn can run you on average 2,000 US. And it's, I'm just not quite at that scale yet. Hopefully I'll get there eventually, but we're not there yet. So if you're a dyer or you know of any dyers who are willing to do kind of smaller wholesale orders, I've been trying to stick to no more than I'd say 40 is kind of the max I'm willing to really purchase at the moment. Give or take a little bit, but being able to, because also I don't know what's going to sell, and I don't want to be bringing in, 100 skeins of yarn, and then you guys don't want to buy it, and then it's oh, now I'm stuck with 100 skeins of yarn. So it's trying to figure out, I'd rather buy smaller amounts to start, and then as things sell, figure out, okay, this dyer's more popular, this colorway is more popular, and then kind of, navigate it from there. I mean, it's been a big commitment, and it's definitely been a learning experience. Maybe I'll do a separate video on what I thought versus the reality of opening an online yarn store. Let me know in the comments if that's something you'd be interested in, because there's definitely some things that was like, oh, that didn't even cross my mind, didn't think about that, didn't think that was how that was gonna go. But yeah, so I'll leave the link to Skein Appeal down below. I'd really appreciate it if you go and check it out. We do have the option of vacuum shipping, which what that means is you can order up to a certain number of grams of yarn, and I can then vacuum seal it so that it flattens, and it can then be shipped as oversized letter mail, which is drastically cheaper. The only thing is there's no tracking, but it's, you know, $5 versus $20. So if you're only buying one skein of yarn, it's worth it. And I've purchased multiple times from other yarn stores that have a vacuum shipping option. I always take it if it's an option. I'm fine to wait a little bit longer for it to come in the mail, like unless it's something that's super rushed and I need it now, which I have so much yarn that nothing is ever a rush. I'm fine to wait the couple extra business days for it just to come as regular mail. So, but just if you are going to purchase vacuum shipping, just be aware that there's no tracking. It's going to come just like it was a piece of regular mail. So let's get into what I've been working on. It's primarily socks. So if you're not into knit socks, you might want to skip this episode because it's a lot of knit socks. But first off, I want to show a finished object that I made recently. Like this, I just cast this off a couple days ago and blocked it. This is the Free for All cowl by Webster Street Knittery, I think it's called. And it's just like a very simple cowl. And this is made from, the colorway is called Forest, and it's by Yarn Over New York, and we do have it in stock at Skein Appeal. We have a ton of different worsted colors in stock. It was hard for me to, what I did is I did a poll to ask which color you guys would like to see worked up most in the worsted range, and this one. So yeah, super cute. Just keep it on for now. It was a super fun knit. Like I'm gonna make another one. It flew off the needles. I really enjoyed it, and this yarn was honestly, like, this was my first time knitting with Yarn Over New York. It was really nice to knit with, I have to say. I also have to say, for a solid color yarn, I really like it. I tend to like variegated, speckled. I'm not usually someone who likes a tonal yarn. Also, this is like, for a hand-dyed yarn, her like solid colorways are solid. Like, I know sometimes when you buy indie dyed yarn and it's a tonal, there still might be a little bit of variegation throughout it. Some spots are a little lighter, some are darker. This is like commercial level dye. Like, I don't even, it's honestly some of the nicest, I don't even know if you can see that, some of the nicest solid yarn I've ever seen. So we have it in this like forest color, a really pretty teal, and a gray. The gray is a little bit more, has some variegation through it. It's still considered a tonal, but there are some like darker spots, but like the teal and the forest, like solid. It's amazing. So yeah, that's my first finished object. I really like it. I don't know, I was like considering at one point listing it in my Etsy shop. I do have an Etsy shop where I sell some finished items here or there. If I have things left over from when I was doing shows, or I recently had some stuff in a local artisan shop. I also sell my patterns on there, but the odd time I put in a finished object, and I was contemplating selling this just because, you know, it's usually not a style I would gravitate towards, but now seeing it on me in the camera, so I'm using this as a mirror, but like, so should my hair like this? I think I'm gonna keep this. Yeah. Maybe I'll do another one in one of the other colorways. Maybe I'll go back and see what like came in second, and maybe I'll list that one in the shop. We'll see. But all right, moving on to the giant stack of socks. Let's see if I can go in order. So and all of these have been worn. I'm sorry, like they're not fresh off the blockers. They need to be washed. So I don't even remember if I showed these or not, but this was the Stay Sexy Don't Get Murdered colorway from Nomadic Yarns. I think that's her name. It'll be in the description box. And then the Cuff and Toes is just a contrast mini from Row 1 Yarns. But this is super fun. It was super fun to knit up. I really like her yarn. I have a couple other balls waiting to be, oh no, I guess I knit another one into socks. They're just waiting to be blocked, so they'll be in the next video. Her yarn's really nice. If you like self-striping yarn, definitely go check her out. My next pair, now these are I misread the pattern. So they're not exactly what they're supposed to be, but they were called the picnic blanket socks. I don't remember the maker's name, but again, it will be in the description. And so one of the recommendations was to kind of like swap your main and contrast color between your socks, which is what I did. Both of these are by Cozy Posy yarn. The yellow, I think, was Lemon Meringue, and the pink, I think, was it Oh Darling? I think it was Oh Darling. I mean, if you go to her website and look, you can't miss it. It's like the most vibrant pink you've ever seen. Like, it is like highlighter pink. But yeah, these were fun knit too. I misread the directions. Basically, they're supposed to be like, I guess I kind of half did it here. So it's like you're supposed to have a couple rows, like 4, I think, bumps, and then you have a couple rows of just flat knitting. I missed that. But I like them. So now I had participated in, it was called the like a winter sock swap, and my partner sent me some yarn from a new to me dyer called the Wool Baron, and it was a stripey, self-striping advent yarn. So basically what you're supposed to do is knit 1 stripe a day for every day in December. This was super fun, and the cuff and heels were also by the Wool Baron. I was frightened I wasn't gonna have enough for the toes, so I used a Row 1 mini silver skein for the toe. But look at these, aren't these fun? And now technically I cheated because I originally was going to do the whole afterthought heel, but I was like, I hate afterthought heels. I don't like making them. I much prefer heel flap and gusset. And by the time I made that decision, I technically should have, to have enough stripes to fit my foot, like I should have stopped at this red stripe and then had this be the pink stripe be the first one up the foot, but I didn't. And I couldn't be bothered to rip back the heel flap and gusset and the whole stripe, so I just cheated, and on day 15 I knit an extra stripe to finish off the this sock. So technically, instead of it being like 31 stripes, it's 32, but whatever. Like, I have small feet as well, so like I didn't want to, some people split the skein in half and did like 2 full, like if that makes sense, like all the stripes together. That would have been like knee socks on me. So I just did some crazy stripy socks. I still have half skein left. So I'll get to make some other stripy socks. One thing I'm thinking of doing is because I still have some of this left, I'm thinking of doing like a really weird like Frankenstein type sock where I literally just take the leftovers of each and like maybe like switch skeins every, I don't want to do it every row or every second row, but like really just make something wild and crazy. Oops, keeps more focusing on me, but yeah, we'll see. My next pair of socks is super exciting because they are knit with my own hand spun. So the contrast color for the heels, toes, and cuffs is by Leo and Roxy. I'm pretty sure it's called Tranquil, but I'm not 100%. And then the main yarn is my hand spun. So I have really been enjoying spinning. I'm not perfect at it, but this was definitely the best yet. Like, I'm really proud of these, and I still have a lot of this color left actually. I'm kind of like, I don't know what to do with it. I definitely would have enough for another pair of socks, but I don't know if I wanted another pair of socks. We'll see. But those are super fun to knit. There's also just a different feeling being like, this is my yarn. Like, I physically made this yarn. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna try at some point and do some like little mini spinning tutorials on here. Again, I'm not like master spinner or anything like that, but like I'm a very visual learner, so I'm hoping that for anyone else who's a visual learner, maybe being able to see what I do, little tricks I've picked up myself that I find work for me. Yeah, we'll see. Last pair of socks also has more hand spun. So these are actually, I have a tester call out right now on, it's called Yarn Pond. If you're not on Yarn Pond and you're either a designer or a tester, I highly recommend it. It's free for testers, and I mean, it's free to join even as a designer, but you just have to pay $5 to post a test. So yeah. Ta-da! This was fun to spin, also a little tricky just because it is tweed. This is my first time spinning a tweedy yarn, but I think I did a pretty good job. And so these are just, you know, a little bit of color work, and then I don't know what's gonna show up too well, especially with my face in the way. I did a little bit of like arch support before starting the next round of color work. And the main color is Leo and Roxy Basics. Pretty sure it was called Plum. But yeah, these are, I don't have a name for them yet. Like, I have no idea what to call them. I was thinking striation socks, but I looked it up and there's already a pattern called striation socks. So I don't know, we'll see. Need to think of a name before the pattern comes out, but I'm hoping to have testers by, you know, end of the week, and then hopefully have, you know, the pattern release kind of end of February. That's kind of my goal, but we'll see. Things happen. So I'm trying to see what Minerva is into. What are you in? I think she's just in an empty box. That's fine. So what should we do next? Let's do whips, and then we'll do the little bit of yarn that I bought. I'm trying not to buy too much yarn, especially since I just bought so much for the shop. We moved, and it was like, I'll probably be able to fit all my yarn in this like set of shelves, and it's a tight fit. I have more yarn than I thought, and so my goal is not to not buy yarn. My goal is just to try and use my stash. But if there's something I need or want it, or like really want, and it's not my stash, I'm not going to not buy it, because if I say I'm not buying any more yarn, I then go and buy all the yarn. So like I'm going to knit the sea glass tee, but I'm going to do it long sleeve. And so I need like a solid base color, so I ordered some like gray tweed yarn from Knit Picks. They don't have a lot of like solid neutrals, but yeah. All right, I think, I don't know if what I'm making qualifies. I am hopefully participating in the Crazy Cabled Make Along with Sock Witchery and the Crazy Sock Lady. I don't know about my sweaters, what they considered cabled enough, because I know they had said some people had posted pictures and like it wasn't cabled enough to qualify. I hope this qualifies. If not, it was a fun make, but whatever. So I am making the Salem sweater by Dragon Horde Yarn. So it's I don't know how you say it, dolman? It's like one of the ones that has like the deep sleeves, like the bat wings. And so I don't know if you can see, but from the top all the way down the sleeve, or is this like long cable with bobbles, and it goes all the way down to the cuff. And now the sleeves look super weird, but it's because the like armhole depth is so long that like the sleeve isn't that long. So I am using True North Creative Headliner and Polka Dot Creek Heartbreaker, and the Heartbreaker is the mohair, and you can kind of see the like specks of purple that's coming from the mohair, because the base is, geez, I want to show you the scheme. So Headliner is this, it's just like a neutral with some black spots, and then Heartbreaker is this beautiful gray with purple bits. So I've split for the sleeves, and I am, you know, starting to work on the body. This was also my first time knitting a sweater and doing the thing where like you do the sleeves before the body. So much easier. I will be doing that from now on. So my last like official whip besides scrappy whips is I am working on a cowl design. I'm not 100% sure the direction it's taking. I have two ideas in mind, so let me walk you through this. So I don't think I picked the best yarn, because this is like super metallic and I don't know if it's gonna photograph well, but whatever. So it is this kind of simple color work design. Oop. And so what happens is it starts out as the gray is the main color and the pink is the contrast color. Then it switches to, I picked up a darker pink for the main color and the gray is the contrast color. Then we pick back up the light pink, and the light pink becomes the main color and the gray color again is the contrast. And so my thought is, my original plan was going to be, you know, something like this, like you knit it around. But now I'm thinking, is this gonna fit over my head? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't want to break the needles. Maybe if I don't have my glasses on. Nope, nope. I don't want to like have it fall off the needles. Give you an idea. So like, let's hold it up. So like this, but then, so it'd be doubled. So knit it double the length, fold it in on itself, and then, because I did a provisional cast on, Kitchener stitch around so you have a double layer tube. I'm feeling chilly now without this. So my original plan was to like, again, do it like as a loop and still do the provisional cast on so it's doubled. So it's like color work going this way versus color work going this way. Still haven't quite decided. I probably won't decide for a while yet. But yeah, I wanted to use the yarn because I had several balls of it. It's, I'm not even gonna, I'm not even gonna try. I'm gonna say I'm not gonna try to pronounce it instead. And it's like a beautiful yarn. It's just very metallic, and I don't think it's gonna photograph that well, which I didn't think about until I started in, but whatever. My only other whips right now are scrappy whips, so I'm working on a granny square blanket, actually 2 granny square blankets technically. So what I'm doing is just basically make a giant granny square. Like I'm just continuously going around with odds and ends. My other one, I'm using minis to make like, you know, actual little granny squares, and once I have enough, I'll seam them all together. I started that because I wanted to use my Story Weaver Narnia Christmas Advent, and so I'm able to get 2 squares. I have a 20-gram mini and I still have a little bit left over, so it's like I make the 2 squares and I put the little bit that's left on the big scrap blanket. So it's gonna take me hell of a long time to get through making enough squares. I was like, oh, it won't take too long, and like the other night I sat down and started like laying out what I had and was like, oh, it's gonna take a lot longer than I thought. So right now that's on the back burner because I'm feeling a little like discouraged by the amount of squares I have to make, but whatever. So besides my like monthly Yarnable box, which I didn't do a December unboxing because we're busy, but we'll be back to regular schedule. I should say January, not December. I'll be back to regular schedule this month. The box just shipped 2 days ago, so when that comes, look out for an unboxing. So last Christmas I knit the Pink Velvet Sweater by Andrea Mowry. It was my first fingering weight sweater, and I thought I could get away with 2 skeins of the main color, and I did, except that it ended with like 3/4 length sleeves, which I'm not a huge fan of. Like if I'm warm, I'll push my sleeves up, but I like having a full length sleeve because I'm always cold, and I've been waiting forever to get my hands on 1 skein of Feisty Fibers in pastel, which is what I used for the main color. And I feel like she hasn't done an update in a while, and every one of her stock has had Rockin' Socks in every color but this one. And so recently she had put out sets like for a hat and mitts at the Knitting Loft with a skein of Surrey. So I'm obviously not going to use these 2 together. This is going to be used to lengthen the sleeves on my Pink Velvet, so it will be more wearable. So what I did then is I picked up a 2nd skein of Surrey, and I'm going to use these to make the, I'm probably going to butcher the name here, I think it's my Chrysalis shawl. It's like a brioche shawl that uses Surrey and then 1 skein of fingering. So I haven't quite decided what color I'm going to hold with it. This is very gray and moody and brown, so we'll see. Maybe after I finish the sleeves, I'll see how much I have left of this. I mean, maybe? We'll see. But anyway, those have been my yarn purchases, my whips, my makes, updates. So yeah, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss future videos. If there's anything you'd like to see, please let me know in the comments below. I'll try to link as many things as in the description box below that I talked about. And yeah, please go check out Skein Appeal. Give me your opinion. I'd love some feedback. Do you like the website? Do you like the navigation? You know, whatever. We do also have a rewards program, so sign up for the rewards program. So when you shop, you'll earn points, and then, you know, you get points on, you know, if you share on social media, you'll get extra points on your birthday. And every time you shop, you earn points, and then it's like you can use those points to get discounts on your yarn or yarn purchases, whatever. So yeah, that's everything. We're already like a half hour. This is one of my longer videos. Yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. We'll be trying to do this more regularly. I say that every time and it doesn't happen, so we'll see. I'm just gonna say we'll do this whenever I get to it again. All right, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow all the socials. Bye.